Yo, 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 my star citizens and noob gamers. Welcome back to the second episode of Very Noob Review with me, Menix. And today we're going to be talking about the Star Citizen Live event, the distribution allocation. So let's get into this one. So, distribution centers, what are they? So, distribution centers are these great big underground bunkers with a section at the top, which will be the face of the bunker. And these places are going to be owned by many factions like Hurston Dynamics and companies like that. And these are going to be greatly focusing a lot of events on them. The way I would describe them is a space station and maybe some outposts all rolled into one on a planet. So basically, you've got your space station, the outposts, and the bunkers we currently have all rolled into one, and these are what the distribution centers are going to be. And these are a much needed addition to Star Citizen, and they're coming out in 3.23, and then they'll be built on over time. So these are great big areas where there's going to be a lot of gameplay, and the way I'm looking at it is there's going to be some times where we just play mainly inside that bunker or inside that distribution center and don't actually get out of it. And so that's really, really good to have that and not to always be out in the verse and stuff like that. So let's get into the segments of this. So these distribution centers are going to be for all players. And so we'll go through the player types in a minute and what you can do with them, but it's going to be open for a lot of people. I did hear them said there was a hub section in there, so it looks like you may be able to make that your base or be able to log off there. And so you could end up spending a lot of time at these distribution centers. I think they're going to be a game changer for Star Citizen 3.23, but there's a glaringly obvious problem with these distribution centers, and I feel they're going to be dead on arrival if this one thing isn't sorted out by CIG to fix it for players like myself, the passive players, and we'll get into that at the end of this video. So let's get into the player styles. So the first player style is going to be for the passive Lawful type, which is me. So that'll be people that want to do box missions there, cargo running, picking up cargo, leaving, or just taking cargo from one area of the distribution center to another area on the floating trolleys. That again is something I'm really looking forward to being able to do, just to be in that one center and moving cargo around that center and just sort of living a life around that center for a bit. Really, really looking forward to that. So passive Lawful people like myself will be loving that type of gameplay where you're just walking around the center and pretty much living a life in there, or just going in and getting cargo and then moving off to another place. So that's the passive Lawful people. So next we have the aggressive Lawful people, and there'll be people that come to protect the bunker. So we currently have something similar to that at the moment, where you can go down to the bunkers and protect the bunkers from the Nine Tails. That in the bunkers we currently have, you can go down and you can protect the Nine Tails and don't shoot the guards in there. So it's going to be a version of that, but a much bigger, on a much bigger scale. And so again, that's another gameplay I really like, the aggressive Lawful. And so that's going to be good, having missions in there to protect the people and the bunker itself. Really looking forward to that one as well, and making sure that cargo doesn't get stolen and stuff like that. So that's the Lawful aggressive, or aggressive Lawful. So we come on to passive Unlawful. Now, passive Unlawful, again, is going to be another great feature for me that I love. This reminds me of Splinter Cell. I used to play Splinter Cell a lot, and it's a lot of sneaking around, and you're doing unlawful business, but you're not being aggressive about it. You're sneaking around. And when they showed us these a few months back, they explained there was these ducts as you come in. So as you go into the distribution center itself, you're going to have a door where you're going to be allowed to go into this door. But if you've not been invited to that place, or they don't want you in there, you're not going to be able to get through these doors. But just off to the right, there was a little vent hatch, and there's a great way of getting into that vent hatch and then getting into the distribution center with that. So you'll be doing a lot of skulking around in the shadows and maybe offing people with your knife and being silent about it, and then maybe robbing the place and whatever you can get, and you get out of the place without being caught, you'll get to keep. So again, another gameplay that I'm really going to enjoy, as long as it's against the NPCs mainly. So I'm going to love that one. So that is the passive Unlawful. So on this last one, it's going to be aggressive Unlawful. Now, aggressive Unlawful is going to be, again, you have another thing similar to this in the bunkers currently, where you can go down to the bunkers and you can take out the guards or the police in that area. And you used to be able to clear your crime stats in there, but there's other things you can do now. And so that's what the aggressive Unlawful is going to be. It's going to be going in there, trying to take over the place, attacking the place, stealing goods out and blatantly doing it. So that's going to be a gameplay I probably won't play as much because I'm not really an aggressive player unless I'm defending. And so that's going to be good for those people that love the aggressive stance and love to be on the bad side of the law, and they're going to love all that stuff. And it's just going in guns blazing and maybe assassination attempts and stuff like that. There's going to be a few jobs that you can do as an aggressive Unlawful in these areas, and you may even get some good cred from doing that. So that's the aggressive Unlawful. So I was really excited about all these things that you can do, going around on missions, sneaking, going in guns blazing, or just passive cargo running. I was really looking forward to it because it feels like there's going to be actually some gameplay now. We're not just aimlessly going around the universe getting cargo or stuff like that. There's actually going to be some gameplay loops coming in. And I was really looking forward to this until this was said. And the reason that made me eke back a little bit is because we've had this before. We had this in Pyro. When Pyro Tech Preview came out, there was a space station that everybody was going to. And the moment you came out your hubs, people were shooting you. And so you couldn't actually play it. So I feel like these distribution centers are going to be dead on arrival because of that. It's almost like CIG have said they want all forms of people to meet in these places and interact in these places, but what they haven't counted into that is dicks. People are just dicks sometimes, and they'll just shoot you for no reason. So you might feel like you want to have some real good gameplay, if you're sneaking about or you're doing other things, or you just cargo running, and they just might just come along and shoot you in the face just because they can, just because there's no armistice on there. And it's almost like that's what was going on in the Pyro Tech Preview in certain areas. People couldn't get out their habs and they just spoiled the game. And so the way to address this is CIG need a proper punishment system. Now, because a lot of people will say to me, but that's gameplay, you're in an MMO, you're in a real life situation, or not real life situation, but you're in a played out situation that's supposed to be real life. And at any moment someone could come along and just do whatever they wanted to you. Yes, they could, but in my real life now, I live in a lawful situation where if someone did do something unlawful to me, there's a big punishment for that. There's no big punishment in the game. And I was talking to Gil Thanis about this earlier on when we was talking about this video, and he was saying it could be something like maybe you get a week in jail and you can't work that time off or something like that if you unlawfully killing a civilian like myself, just passively doing something. Maybe there's got to be some sort of punishment that's actually relevant, so that people don't just come and shoot you in the face for no reason at all. Because that side of it, if you get a few dicks like that would just do that, distribution centers are dead, and nobody's going to go to them, and nobody's going to want to work in them, and they'll just die a death, and then CIG will think, oh well, maybe this is the wrong way to go. But it's not. It's an absolutely amazing idea, having all this lot rolled into one, but it's going to get spoiled by dicks because it's inevitable that they're going to be there. And that's a real shame for me. Now, you guys can let me know on the thoughts. You can come at me, tell me I'm being, a baby or whatever. But for me, it's not about whether I'm getting killed in the place. It's the fact of if we are constantly getting killed in the place, you won't go there and you won't play it, and then that just ends up killing that game loop off. And so those people that will engage in just killing people for no reason or when they walk out of the hab are going to end up killing off something that could be really, really good in the game. And that's my worry about it, is something really, really good is there, but there's no punishment for people who are going to spoil it, and that needs to be addressed for me. And so that's my thought on that. Really, really looking forward to these distribution centers and how they play out and the stuff that you can do in it, but very, very optimistic or cautiously optimistic about these people, you know, just letting you get on with your work and doing whatever you want in there without harming somebody else's game, griefers as we would call them. And so yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to these. I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys, on what you feel about this. Distribution centers going to be amazing. People giving people free will to shoot you in the face, not really as good. So that's my thoughts on this, on the distribution centers, guys. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I hope and pray that we don't get loads of idiots just shooting you for no reason at all, pad ramming you and stuff like that, or just shooting you when you're in the base. That's really, really going to spoil it. And I know there's a lot of things going to be tested in these places, but I'm really, really sort of saddened at the thought of I feel I know what's coming, that this great gameplay is going to get killed off by people that are just idiots. And so yeah, so that's the end of that one, guys. So we hope you like this video, guys. If you did, don't forget to take that point to tickle that like button for us. Don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe notification for more videos, and check out the description for more content. Check out some of our hauling videos and stuff like that. Those are going to be turned on the red when this new patch comes out. And yeah, so let us know your thoughts in the comments, guys. You can tell me I'm being a baby if you want to tell me I'm being a baby. You can agree with me if you want to agree with me. But for me, that's my thoughts, and that's what these reviews are going to be about. It's going to be about my thoughts and what I'm thinking about them. So we ought to like it, guys. See you out in the verse.